Canada's new Enhanced Caregiver Pilot Programs. A comprehensive overview. Welcome to Canada Chronicles. Today, we have some exciting news that's set to transform the lives of caregivers around the world. On June 3, 2024, Canada announced the launch of its new Enhanced Caregiver Pilot Programs, which offer an immediate pathway to permanent residence for home care workers upon their arrival. In this video, we'll dive deep into these groundbreaking programs, exploring their key features, the significant impact on caregivers and Canadian families, and what this means for the future of caregiver immigration in Canada. Whether you're a caregiver looking to make Canada your new home or just curious about the latest immigration updates, you won't want to miss this. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button if you find this information valuable, subscribe to Canada Chronicles for more updates on immigration and life in Canada, and click the bell icon to get notified whenever we post new content. Let's get into it. Canada has long recognized the invaluable contributions of caregivers to Canadian families and communities. Caregivers from abroad play a crucial role in providing care to children, seniors, and individuals with disabilities, helping to ensure the well-being of many Canadian households. In response to this vital need, Canada has introduced new Enhanced Caregiver Pilot Programs aimed at providing permanent residence (PR) to home care workers upon their arrival. This video delves into the details of these new programs, their significance, and the broader context of caregiver immigration in Canada. On June 3, 2024, the Honourable Marc Miller, Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, announced the launch of new Enhanced Caregiver Pilot Programs. These programs are set to replace the existing Home Child Care Provider Pilot and Home Support Worker Pilot, which were introduced in 2019 and are scheduled to expire later this month. The new pilots mark a significant step towards making the caregiver programs a permanent fixture in Canada's immigration landscape, reflecting the government's commitment to supporting caregivers and addressing the growing demand for home care services. Key features of the new Enhanced Caregiver Pilots. The new caregiver pilot programs are designed to streamline the immigration process for caregivers and provide them with immediate access to permanent residence upon arrival in Canada. The key features of these programs include: 1. Permanent residence on arrival. Caregivers will be granted permanent residence status as soon as they arrive in Canada. This significant change eliminates the uncertainty and long waiting periods associated with previous programs, offering caregivers a stable and secure pathway to PR. 2. Eligibility criteria. To qualify for the new caregiver pilots, candidates must meet the following criteria. Attain a minimum level based on the Canadian Language Benchmarks, CLB. Hold the equivalent of a Canadian high school diploma. Have recent and relevant work experience in home care. Receive a job offer for a full-time home care position in Canada. 3. Flexibility in employment. The new pilots allow caregivers to work for organizations that provide temporary or part-time care for individuals who are semi-independent or recovering from an injury or illness. This flexibility helps caregivers find suitable employment and ensures that they can contribute to various care settings. 4. Focus on quality care. By providing a clear and straightforward pathway to PR, the new pilots aim to attract qualified and dedicated caregivers. This initiative ensures that Canadian families receive high-quality care from professionals who are committed to their roles and have a vested interest in their new communities. The importance of caregivers in Canada. Caregivers are essential to the functioning of many Canadian households, particularly those with young children, elderly family members, or individuals with disabilities. The demand for home care services has increased significantly in recent years due to an aging population and the growing preference for in-home care over institutional settings. Caregivers provide a wide range of services, including personal care, companionship, and assistance with daily activities, which are critical for the well-being and independence of their clients. Historical context of caregiver programs. Canada's caregiver immigration programs have evolved over the years to better meet the needs of both caregivers and Canadian families. The Live-In Caregiver Program, LCP, introduced in 1992, was one of the earliest initiatives designed to bring caregivers to Canada. The LCP allowed caregivers to apply for permanent residence after completing 2 years of live-in caregiving work within 4 years of their arrival. However, the LCP faced criticism for its requirement that caregivers live with their employers, which often led to issues such as overwork, isolation, and lack of privacy. In response to these concerns, the government introduced the Home Child Care Provider Pilot and Home Support Worker Pilot in 2019. These programs allowed caregivers to live independently of their employers and provided a more flexible pathway to PR. The new Enhanced Caregiver Pilots build on the successes of these programs and address some of the remaining challenges. Challenges faced by caregivers. Despite the critical role they play, caregivers often face numerous challenges, including 1. Workplace vulnerability. Caregivers may experience exploitation and abuse in their workplaces due to the isolated nature of their work and their dependence on their employers for immigration status. Ensuring that caregivers have access to permanent residence upon arrival helps mitigate these risks by providing them with greater security and autonomy. 2. High costs and complex processes. The costs associated with the immigration process, including application fees and travel expenses, can be prohibitive for many caregivers. Additionally, navigating the complex requirements and procedures can be daunting. The new enhanced caregiver pilots aim to simplify the process and reduce barriers to entry. 3. Recognition of qualifications. Many caregivers come to Canada with valuable skills and experience, yet they often face challenges in having their qualifications recognized. Ensuring that caregivers are able to fully utilize their skills and knowledge is essential for providing high-quality care and for their own professional fulfillment. Government initiatives to support caregivers. The Canadian government has implemented several initiatives to support caregivers and address the challenges they face. 1. Pathways to permanent residence. The new enhanced caregiver pilots are a major step forward in providing caregivers with a clear and secure pathway to permanent residence. This initiative not only benefits caregivers but also ensures that Canadian families have access to reliable and dedicated care. 2. Support services and resources. Various support services and resources are available to help caregivers integrate into their new communities. These include language training, job placement assistance, and access to legal and social services. By providing comprehensive support, the government aims to ensure that caregivers can successfully settle in Canada and thrive in their new roles. 3. Public awareness and advocacy. Raising public awareness about the contributions of caregivers and advocating for their rights are important aspects of the government's efforts. Public campaigns and partnerships with advocacy organizations help highlight the value of caregivers and promote policies that support their well-being. The broader impact of caregiver immigration. The new enhanced caregiver pilots have far-reaching implications for Canadian society and the economy. 1. Meeting the demand for home care services. As the population ages and more individuals require in-home care, the demand for caregivers continues to grow. The new pilots ensure that Canada can attract and retain qualified caregivers to meet this demand, thereby supporting the health and well-being of many Canadians. 2. Economic contributions. Caregivers contribute to the economy not only through their work but also by participating in the broader labor market and community life. By providing a secure pathway to PR, the new pilots encourage caregivers to invest in their new communities and build a stable future in Canada. 3. Social integration. The successful integration of caregivers into Canadian society enhances social cohesion and diversity. Caregivers bring unique perspectives and experiences that enrich the cultural fabric of their communities. Supporting their integration helps create inclusive and vibrant communities where everyone can thrive. Future outlook. The launch of the new enhanced caregiver pilots represents a significant milestone in Canada's immigration policy. As the government works towards making the caregiver programs permanent, it is important to continue monitoring and evaluating their effectiveness. This includes gathering feedback from caregivers, employers, and other stakeholders to ensure that the programs meet their needs and address any emerging challenges. The government's commitment to supporting caregivers reflects a broader recognition of the essential role they play in Canadian society. By providing caregivers with the opportunity to gain permanent residence and build a future in Canada, the new pilots contribute to the country's social and economic prosperity. Canada's new enhanced caregiver pilot programs mark a pivotal moment in the country's approach to caregiver immigration. By offering permanent residence on arrival, these programs provide caregivers with the security and stability they need to thrive in their roles and contribute to Canadian society. The new pilots address many of the challenges faced by caregivers and ensure that Canadian families have access to high-quality home care services. As Canada continues to evolve its immigration policies, the success of these programs will depend on ongoing collaboration between the government, caregivers, employers, and advocacy organizations. By working together, stakeholders can create a supportive and inclusive environment that recognizes the invaluable contributions of caregivers and promotes their well-being. Thank you for tuning in to Canada Chronicles. We hope you found this deep dive into Canada's new enhanced caregiver pilot programs both informative and inspiring. These new programs are a game-changer for caregivers looking to build a new life in Canada, providing immediate access to permanent residence and ensuring a secure and stable future. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on immigration, life in Canada, and helpful tips for new immigrants. Have any questions or comments about the new caregiver programs? Drop them in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you and help out with any queries you might have. And remember to click the bell icon so you never miss an update from Canada Chronicles. Until next time, stay informed and stay inspired.